We are living in strange times indeed when I make a video in defense of JK Rowling. Hello, this is Mara Jade, and I'm here with another video, and if you'd been following Twitter at all over the past weekend, you would have seen that JK Rowling was trending. And why was she trending? Because she made a series of tweets that dared to go against the approved groupthink, and like clockwork, the outrage mob on Twitter swarmed her over the weekend and began canceling her. Much like we saw with Robert Meyer Burnett, you don't go against the approved groupthink. And then, without cancel culture, spidey senses going off, and making your life a living hell. And that's what JK Rowling is witnessing because of a series of tweets she made. What tweets did she make? Again, I'll go into it in this article, and you can judge for yourself if they are, a quote, anti-trans or not. So let's dive into this article, shall we? Many people are calling out Harry Potter author JK Rowling for a series of anti-trans tweets on Saturday afternoon. Rowling's latest controversy began when she commented on an article from Devix, a media platform for the global development community, titled Opinion, Creating a More Equal Post-COVID-19 World for People Who Menstruate. One is an opinion piece, which means it's subjective, it's not fact, so this, I don't know the author of this piece at all. But two, who the fuck cares? But at any rate, she tweeted that article, and here's the tweets. People who menstruate, quote, people who menstruate. I'm sure there used to be a word for those people. Someone help me out. Wumpen? Wimpund? Wumud? Basically, being sarcastic and saying, yeah, well, no shit. People who menstruate are called women. That's all she's saying. Women. And I might add, biological women. But people on Twitter immediately called Rowling's comments anti-trans and transphobic, as transgender people, non-binary people, and gender non-conforming people can also menstruate. Rowling followed that tweet up by criticizing the idea that someone's biological sex, it's called edit variety, isn't real. I love how says non-binary and gender non-conforming people can also menstruate. Non-binary still indicates two. Binary still indicates two. You're saying that you're neither of the two. So whatever umpteen fucking million genders you come up with, there's still two biological ones. If sex isn't real, there is no same-sex attraction. Agreed. If sex isn't real, the lived reality of women globally is erased. Arguably true. I might not entirely agree with that, but arguably true. I know and love trans people, but erasing the concept of sex removes the ability of many to meaningfully discuss their lives. It isn't hate to speak the truth, she wrote. The idea that women like me, who have been empathetic to trans people for decades, feels kinship because they're vulnerable in the same way as women, i.e. to male violence. I'm going to stop right there and say there's no such thing as just male violence. It's violence. It doesn't matter the sex or anything like skin color or religion or what. If a person is violent, that person is violent. Hate trans people, quote unquote, hate trans people because they think sex is real and has lived consequences is a nonsense. So these are the tweets where she got eviscerated by the outrage mob. She added that she respects trans people's rights to live comfortably and later struck out at people calling her a TERF, a trans exclusionary radical feminist. So here's that. I'm not going to go into all her tweets, but here's more of what she added. And here's the one where she went against the person for calling her a TERF. Feminazi, TERF, bitch, witch, times change, woman hate is eternal. I've been called bitch by more women than men, and I've used the word feminazi when I describe third and fourth wave feminists. Is that woman hate because it's coming from me? Is it woman hate because of women calling me bitch? It's just hate. They're just being assholes, pretty much. It's just, we use those words. Words only hurt if you let them hurt. The LGBTQ rights organization GLAAD responded to Rowling's comments saying the author has aligned herself with an ideology that willfully distorts facts about gender identity and people who are trans. In 2020, there is no excuse for targeting trans people. She didn't target trans people. She didn't! There is nothing in the original tweet that even remotely was an attack on the transgender community. Nothing! GLAAD listed several black trans organizations for people to make donations. They had to narrow it down. Black trans, because of the current events that are happening this past couple weeks, to take that and combine it with what JK Rowling did. Gotta cover all the bases to show that you are not either racist or transphobic. And ended by saying people should check out Percy Jackson author Rick Riordan if they need a summer read. So here's a series of tweets targeting JK Rowling. And it says, by the way, looking for some summer reading? Percy Jackson author Rick Riordan isn't transphobic. Yay! That's the only reason why people read authors. Not because the books themselves are good. I can't say anything about the Percy Jackson series because I could not give any less of a shit about it, to be quite frank. But if you pick an author because they align with your political beliefs, no, you read an author because you like the writing, you like the story, you like the characters. Case in point, I read a lot of Stephen King. He's batshit crazy. And he's leftist. Left of center of me. I liked reading his books. It didn't matter. Alright. Rowling came under fire for voicing similar opinions before. In December, she received backlash for supporting a researcher who lost her job after saying a person cannot change their biological sex, which they cannot. They can change their outward appearance. So if they transition from male to female, female to male, the outward appearances and how they feel is what happens. But they still have their reproductive organs intact. That's what makes a person the biological sex, overall. So that woman who lost her job saying that is bullshit. GLAAD had issued a statement in response to Rowling's previous tweets. JK Rowling, whose books gave kids hope that they could work together to create a better world, has now aligned herself with an anti-science ideology. Fucking hell. That denies the basic humanity of people who are transgender. It's called biology. Biology is a science. There's not anti-science ideology. Said Anthony Ramos, head of talent? What the fuck does that even mean? At GLAAD. Trans men, trans women, and non-binary people are not a threat, and to imply otherwise puts trans people at risk. She never said they were a threat. Where the fuck are you reading that? Oh. Now is the time for allies who know and support trans people to speak up and support their fundamental right to be treated equally and fairly, which most people do. You just had to jump on the bandwagon. They just have to be outraged, no matter what. It doesn't matter the actual tweets themselves. It's what they read into them. And if they read into them what narrative they choose to see, that's what they'll be outraged over. Most people reading these tweets going, okay, alright, I see that. Okay, moving on. Which is what I did. And another name that began trending as a result of this was Cho Chang, a character in Harry Potter. Why? Because now people have to be outraged over the fact that she was one of the few Asian characters in the entirety of the Harry Potter franchise. Just to call JK Rowling racist. Here's some tweets. One down here says, all I got to say is that as an Asian woman, that a character being named Cho Chang in a world where people's names are interesting like Nymphadora Tonks is nothing. I have nothing else to say. It speaks for itself. Let this sink in. She is speaking about a franchise where the main fucking character is called Harry Potter. More tweets. Like, you type in Cho Chang. Just that. Oh my god, the number of tweets. Oh my god, the number of people who have to come out and be outraged over all of this. It's just mind-boggling. Mind-boggling. What these people do. Like, do you not have any lives whatsoever? Do you not have any lives? Okay, that's it. You can read it for yourself. Type in Cho Chang. You get all these tweets from the outrage mob calling JK Rowling racist and transphobic, all because she dared to go against the approved groupthink. But at any rate, let me know down in the comments what you think. Do you agree with this? Do you not disagree with me? Sorry, do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Let me know down in the comments below. If you like this video, leave a thumbs up. I need all the validation I can get. Just kidding. If you also would like to share it on social media, I very much appreciate that. And until my next video or live stream, this is Mara Jade, and I'll catch you all on the dark side. Take care.